600 people have complained to the state of Colorado about diesel fuel in regular gas at more than 4 dozen gas stations across the state.
The state announced that as they released a new list of gas stations that got this contaminated fuel last week. 9 News consumer investigator Steve Steger broke this story, has been compiling his own list, and has been keeping that list and telling you so that you would know which gas stations had this problem. Steve, is this list complete?
Well, you know, it's interesting. We are finding places that the retailers are telling us that aren't on Sinclair's list. So there are some questions about that. But I should say, first of all, because I've gotten so many questions about this, that I have assurances from the state and assurances from Sinclair that all the gas pumps that were contaminated, had this contaminated fuel in them, have been pumped out, cleaned, and then filled with non-problematic gasoline. But we have tracked those shipments of bad fuel to 51 gas stations all over Colorado and 1 in Wyoming. A reminder, this happened Wednesday and Thursday of last week with a mix-up at an HF Sinclair gas terminal in Henderson that put diesel into tankers delivering regular gas to stations across Metro Denver. This morning, the state released a list of affected gas stations Sinclair sent to them, and state regulators say the investigation into how this all happened at that terminal could take another 2 to 3 weeks. In the meantime, the state and Sinclair both say anyone with car damage from this contaminated fuel should go back to the gas station where they bought the fuel.
Claims start at the gas station, and typically that's handled by the gas station's insurance company, who would then typically subrogate up to Sinclair, who will ultimately pay for all of it effectively. And we have had statements from them that they're committed to making sure that consumers are made whole.
So this is the map that we've put together. You can find it on 9news.com. It has stations all across the metro area, up in Cheyenne, Wyoming. But the one interesting one that we added today, a Sinclair station in Breckenridge, added to this list. So it just keeps kind of spreading out wider and wider. We also have a Costco station down in Colorado Springs. The reason we are pushing this out to you is so that you know where these locations are. So if you had diesel in your engine, you know where to go to file a claim, because we're hearing about arguments with gas station owners about whether or not there was contaminated fuel at that time. So text the word gas to 303-871-1491. We will send you a link to this article with the map and a contact form where you could tell us your story in case we need to look into it. I'm Steve Steger. Steve on your side, 9 News.
See, that's a lot of information. It's a lot of points on the map behind you, but I think the key right now is that you've gotten assurances that all this gas has been pumped out.
Yeah, that's the big thing, because people keep asking me, is it safe to fill up now? The state says that Sinclair has told them that all of these pumps have been remediated, which means they bring in someone to pump out the bad gas. They take it back to the Sinclair terminal because they're going to work on it and try to make it usable again. And then they clean out all of those pumps, replace any filters so there's no residue left behind from any of the diesel fuel, because we all know how dangerous that can be for an engine.
I thought of it before I filled up. We all do.
I did too. I checked before I stopped at the gas station.
Good work on your part. It's a little infuriating that it's taken you all this time, because I can't imagine what the average consumer is feeling like, because you have the skill to do this.
Well, in this situation, we keep hearing the word unprecedented. This usually happens. When it happens at a really small scale. It'll be a mix-up at one gas station where you know it all happened at that gas station and you know it happened at a certain time. This has never happened in the 18 years that Zach Hope says that he's been with the state in that division, in that role. So they're just kind of trying to figure this out as they go. One of the things we talked about today is whether or not there needs to be a state law that says you have to be transparent about these things. You have to let consumers know when that there was a problem with the fuel. That is not necessarily written anywhere in law. Feels like it might need to be to keep things, to keep consumers informed about what's getting into their.
It's amazing you'd have to write a law.
Well, legislature's back in session.
But you never know. I mean,
you never know.
Again, it's never happened before, but seems like you need a law.
Yeah. All right.